Warning, the following may contain Zorn. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, having discovered an altar surrounded by water deep in the bowels of the house, Master Talfrin shoots a firebolt into what he thinks is a pile of refuse. However, the massive mound of filth rises up in response and prepares to attack.
Just before we begin, can we remind ourselves what we look like at the moment, please? If you'd like to reintroduce your characters.
Sure, I'll go first. I'm Jean Marlemay. I am an actor in many ways, and I'm middle-aged. I'm not particularly tall, and my features might not look distinct and beautiful separately, but there is something alluring about them combined all together. I have a small amount of girth that I carry very well in front of me. I consider to be sort of one of my better features, really. Yes, and otherwise I'm dressed in very nice fineries, I think. I mean, they are a little muddy now, but they're nice otherwise.
Okay.
I'll jump in. Lord Talfrin Blackoak is a professorial figure. He looks like he could have sort of stridden off a college quad. He's wearing a heavy coat and all sorts of lordly finery. Cravat and a monocle. He has incredibly fierce whiskers that brush off to the sides and join his sideburns. A powerful brow and a nose like a ballista bolt. And his perhaps his most defining feature is his severely hunched back. His head is lower than his shoulders, and he tends to bristle and pontificate whenever given a chance.
Excellent. Who's next?
Tim, go ahead.
Okay, then. So I play Master Sunna. I am. I don't have my character sheet. This is really awkward. But I'm a human, and I'm a woman, a slight woman of slight build, but of fierce determination and moral goodness. And I also run around in Jedi clothes, so I'm awesome.
Kellen MacRag is a towering and scowling barbarian that hefts a giant axe that he appears to be quite capable of using. And he also looks like the sort of person who carries with him a distinct barnyard odor.
I can vouch for that, yes.
Okay. Guys,
at least he's owning up to it now.
That's true.
Awareness is the first step.
I've insisted that he does.
You were subtle.
I think you gave me some rose water last time, didn't you?
Yeah, I was trying to knock off the edges.
Threw it in his face, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to speed up time, guys, as this sentient mass of filth, which must be Lorgoth the destroyer, as it rises up, you feel the room around you tremble. You see ripples all over the water, and you realize that it's not just because of the beast that is moving to attack you. It's actually the whole building itself is beginning to shudder, and suddenly masonry starts to fall from the ceiling, splashing into the water around you. You realize that the building itself is beginning to fall apart. So what's the plan?
Wait. Is Lord Talfrin, does he look like Lord Talfrin? Because if I remember correctly,
that's right. Disguise self.
Is that still
currently on? Look. It should be.
Yes, it is.
Was that on your shoulders or something like this?
That was a dream sequence that we roleplayed privately. In this case, I look like, I think, some sort of lordly father figure out of the portrait that we saw. I'm imagining a widow's peak, a black cloak with the crimson inside. How far off am I here, Benedict?
That's perfect.
Perfect. Okay. So the building is literally falling upon us as Lorgoth the Destroyer surges across to attack us, and 13 figures are chanting around the room.
Indeed.
Is that right?
Indeed. It's party
All
time.
right. I think that's a curtain call.
Should we run away? I mean, is anybody opposed to retreating?
Do we have time for a huddle?
Your characters do not, but you
Right.
do.
Right.
Although you have had a couple of months.
I don't know. Like, I think 13 plus a giant monster may be too much for the likes of us.
I think we run away.
Yes.
Was there like hang on? There was like an antechamber that we were in. Where
Full of horrible memorabilia.
Exactly, but there was 13. But there were 13 like niches, and there were 13 weird ass things.
Fetishes, yeah.
So maybe if we were to retreat to that room, and I don't know, like burn the thing.
Right.
We'll burn it.
Fireball.
And see what happens.
I am up for gratuitous burning of horrific. Yep. Sounds
Because
good.
then at least those 13 are gone. Maybe, hopefully, if we're lucky.
Well, and if it doesn't work, we're one step closer to the exit. You know. So.
Okay.
So is that
Absolutely.
plan of action?
Okay.
So when we run back to that room, I think everyone should probably take a couple of the fetishes and start smashing them, or burning them. Because that's a lot of fireballs, isn't it?
I can cast infinite fireballs.
Oh, wow!
It's one of my more charming aspects.
Okay, well, if you want a fireball,
it's a cantrip. I think every how long is it around? Every 4 seconds, I can throw a fireball forever.
Wow!
I can walk down the street just fireballing the sun.
Yeah, nice.
That's a gift. Okay, is that the plan, guys?
Yep.
Okay, so we're running out. The whole time as we do this, the building is continuing to tremble. You have to dodge bricks and plasterwork falling from the ceiling around you, and all the time as you do this, the echoing chants run through this basement. Lorgoth the Destroyer. We awakened the Lorgoth the Destroyer. So you run away from the room with the altar, back through the cells that you guys had explored, into the chamber with all the artifacts in the alcoves around there. Now, this chamber's got stairs that lead back up to the rest of the basement. You hear rumbling from behind you from the jail cells that you ran from, and you see Lorgoth the Destroyer moving slightly slower than you, but this creature it's too big. It would be too big normally to fit in these small corridors, but it's been able to compact itself, and it's surging almost like a wave after you. You don't see there's no sign of the cloaked beings, but this massive creature is still pursuing you as the building continues to fall apart.
So I don't know if we have time to pause and start. Well, you know what? Take it. Fireball it.
Light it up.
Okay. I get to work.
What's that?
I get to work.
What are you doing?
I'm throwing a firebolt into each niche or nook or alcove, whatever it is.
As you do that, so what we'll do is we'll enter into combat. So would everyone like to roll for initiative, please? Let's go to that.
18.
Okay. Kellen,
12.
18. 12.
13.
Okay.
13.
What's your dexterity bonus, Master Summer?
That is a good question. Like the saving throws, or
On the very left-hand side of your character sheet, under dexterity, it should say a plus number somewhere.
oh, this is fun because I only have the rudimentary character sheet.
Do you have your dexterity number?
My dex is 15.
15. And Lord Talfin, what was yours?
Lower.
Lower. Okay. So the Lorgoth the Destroyer goes first. Then after that,
That's not good.
it is Kellen, then Master Sonna, then Lord Talfin, and finally Jean Marlemay.
Who will be dead already.
The creature surges across the ground and attempts to slam into the nearest person that it can find. And I'll go for Kellen. So Kellen, it is 12 plus 19 versus AC.
That gets me.
I get you. It bludgeons you for 10 damage. Throws you against the far wall.
I think we all wince in sympathy.
Mm.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Are you dead?
It's this thing's big, guys. It's not it's not like twice the size of a person. It really is a wave of filth that's moving across the room.
Okay. Where's my runaway spell?
So Kellen, it's you. You're not. Are you dead?
No. I'm still moderately healthy. I'm going to go into a rage.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go after it with my axe.
Okay, go for it.
Uh, 19.
19 hits.
$16
damage. Okay,
Wow.
so you chop at it. You feel a little bit of resistance as your axe plows through it, but really you see very little difference. It's like trying to chop into like a swamp almost in a way. So okay,
Great.
Master Sonna.
Disheartening.
Well, seeing as I probably won't be able to do much against a huge wave. Hang on, I've got this because we're level 2 now, so I can spend 1 chi point to take the dodge action as a bonus action on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I have to do an action first?
No, it just counts as a bonus action. So it basically means it's not one of your normal actions, and it's not a move action. So it's something you can do on top of everything else.
So, am I understanding this correctly? That the dodge would then sort of get me out of the fighting?
That was disengage, does that? Which I think you can do. Can you not do disengage?
I'm not sure.
Let me just double check what dodge means. But you're not in melee combat. The only person in melee with it at the moment is Kellen.
Okay.
Because he just came up and hit him first.
Who I've never cared for.
Okay. Dodge. Just for future record, dodge means that you just totally focus on avoiding attacks, so that any attacks against you have disadvantage.
Okay. So, like, if we're in close quarter combat, then
yeah. But because you can do it and attack as well, because you can do it as a bonus action. So
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, what could we do against a wave? Probably not much. But if we torched all the fetishes that are lying around, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't have.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Have we?
I think you said you blew one up, and then we started combat. Isn't that right? So
only one.
Well, because we can't. Like you said, there's you get to throw one fireball per round. So yes, so one of them has.
So can we see like any effect?
No. In fact, some of the other ones that were in the alcoves closer to the tunnel that Lorgoth has come out of have also been swept out there and dashed on the floor. So it doesn't seem to be anything that he particularly, or it has any particular respect for.
Okay.
Have we tried talking to it
Yeah,
yet?
that would be like. Can we
Sweet talking.
Could try.
I mean, if he can be
Malare?
raised, maybe.
Right.
Well, maybe on Jean's turn. It's Master Son's turn.
It's my turn.
Are you going to sweet talk the wave of filth?
Probably not. But I will stand my ground, and I will hold up my hand and say, "Stop!"
You shall not.
In the name of love,
Oh God.
or something.
Uh-huh.
Does that help?
You're trying to get it to stop?
Yes.
That's your action this turn.
Yep.
Okay. It does not stop. It doesn't.
Worth a try.
It doesn't seem to, although it is sentient, it doesn't seem to really respond to. It doesn't seem to have that level of intelligence. Does that, make sense to understand? So you have discovered that. You have discovered that now. Certainly, as you keep saying this, the building continues to shake. You see a big crack start to run up the northern wall, and all the while the chanting continues. It just keeps saying, "Lorgoth the Destroyer, Lorgoth the Destroyer." Okay, we're on to Lord Talfrin.
All right, I'm calling it on the emergency backup plan. I'm saying it's not going to work to fire all the niches. So instead, Lord Talfrin wheels around, cloak flaring out behind him dramatically with a nice snap, and he hurls a firebolt into Lorgoth the Destroyer's gullet.
Go for it.
And he by any chance does he look flammable, like a slightly oily trash?
No.
Right.
In fact, I could even say he looks slightly moist.
Do you have like anything that would freeze him, for example, Lord Talfrin?
I do not. Fire is kind of my,
thing.
Yeah. I miss with my fire bolt.
Okay.
So I sort of splash fire across the roof dramatically. And then I turn to the group and I say, "The very building is falling upon our heads. Flee, you fools!" And I turn and I rush towards the exit.
Okay.
Let the weight of this edifice do what Keller's axe cannot.
I think he makes a lot of sense.
It's a very solid plan.
Right. Guys, what we're going to do instead is we're going to do something I've not done in 5th edition before. We're going to dive into a skill challenge. So what basically we're going to do here, you're going to use your skills on your character sheet to succeed. And what you're trying to do, your aim at the skills challenge is to reach the stairway out of the basement before Lorgoth the Destroyer destroys you. So this is what we're going to keep the initiative order. So Jean is going to go first, and there's a lot of storytelling involved here, which might suit you guys. Basically, you decide what is Jean going to do on your turn, using the skills of your character sheet or something that matches your skills that's going to help achieve your aim. So your aim is to escape from the basement. So what is Jean going to do? Oh, and by the way, you need to have 5 successes before you have 3 failures. So if you have 3 failures, you fail the skills challenge. 5 successes mean you succeed to escape.
Okay,
this is looking very grim.
This is something I haven't done before. I pick a skill.
Well, think about what would Jean do? What's he good at that would help him to escape?
He's pretty good at animal handling. So I can I
why ride a wave of rats?
Oh, also good at intimidation. Pretty good at +4 acrobatics. Maybe this is the time.
Why don't you tell us what Jean's going to do?
Jean is going to lock eyes with Lord Talfrin before he takes a running tear at him, places his hands upon the old man's hump and leaps bodily over him to get closer to the exit.
Okay. Do you want to take an acrobatics check for me, please?
Sure.
So roll a d20 and just add your acrobatics to it.
12.
12 is a success. That is your first success. Yeah. So that's one out of
kind of scrape my hiney across the top of his head, I think.
Jean
Couldn't have done it without me.
He leaps over Lord Talfrin and exits the room up the staircase.
Leapfrogs.
Kellen, you're actually still in combat with Lorgoth the Destroyer. That might affect what you're planning on doing.
Awkward.
I'm just going to try to hold out as long as I can.
Okay. But remember the aim now is to escape. So what's Kellen going to do?
Right. What's the difference between athletics and acrobatics?
Athletics is strength based, basically. So it's more like sort of heavy lifting and weightlifting kind of things. Like if you were trying to open like a door, I'd be making you take an athletics check, for example. Whereas acrobatics is very much how nimble you are.
I am a fairly dexterous individual.
Mm-hmm.
Also fast. And I have something called danger sense now. So
that's useful. Anything dangerous from this?
What's that?
Do you sense anything dangerous or close by?
Just kind of this giant lump of filth.
But I do get it. But enough about you.
So I guess I'm just going to kind of bob and weave and try to avoid the bludgeoning filth behind me and just make it to the door as quickly as I can.
Is this acrobatics again?
Yes.
Yes, go for it.
Now, with the danger sense, I guess that doesn't come into play yet.
I don't know. What does it do?
It says I get an advantage to dexterity checks for things that I can see.
Well, go for it, then you get advantage on this one.
Okay. 12. Ooh, and 20.
Yeah, absolutely. That succeeds. So you manage to nimbly avoid Lorgoth's attacks as you back up the staircase as well, following after Jean. That's our second success. Well done. What we'll say now, guys, because of because of Kellen managing to take his time avoiding the attacks, we've all made it up the staircase. We've all had time to make it up the staircase now. So we're running up this winding staircase. There's 2 levels to this dungeon, if you recall. So we're coming up it now. You can hear the sort of sickening squelches as Lorgoth sort of moves up the tunnels behind you. The bricks are falling in front of you. It could be the staircase is starting to crack as well. So Master Sunna, what are you going to do?
I have no idea. So that's the question. Can we escape out of the house? Because if this whole thing is, breaking around our heads, then maybe we should just get out.
Mm-hmm. So at the moment, the skill challenge is just to get out of the basement at the moment. That's the only one, and then we'll see what state the house is in.
So it's basically just if we were at the top of the stair, there was there were a number of corridors and stuff, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously, Mustang has remembered the way because she's a cartographer in her real life, and. Okay, so starting at second level, your speed increases by 10 feet while you are not wearing armor or wielding a shield, which I'm not.
So you're probably you've taken off ahead, or you've overtaken Jean. Right?
I should be at about 40 feet speed now, so I'm pretty fast, and I think I'm pretty acrobatic as well.
Okay. So there's some masonry falling in front of you, or are you going to use your acrobatics to deal with that?
I'm going to do Matrix-style backflips and
go for it. Make your roll.
Oh dear. I have to keep on switching between the apps. I'm sorry. 15 plus I don't know because I don't have my character
But that will definitely succeed.
Okay.
So you get the whole matrix. Oh, you move like they do. It's brilliant. Lord
I've never
Talfin.
seen anyone move that fast.
Oh, sorry, guys, that's 3 successes. No failures at the moment. You only need 2 more successes to succeed in this skills challenge. Lord Talfin, you're probably in the middle of the pack at the moment. You're running up the corridor that you traveled down to get here. What's happening? How are you going to help the team succeed?
I have no earthly idea. I've got persuasion, insight,
Okay.
and history as my most, and arcana.
Okay. Well, what could you cast a spell that could help?
Firebolt.
Oh my god.
Go for it. What are you? Let's go first. What are you?
Okay.
Wait, stop. No, wait, stop. No, don't do it. Don't.
But it's gonna work. It's really good. It's actually quite.
Don't fire anything, please. Listen to me. No, hang on. Did you just say insight? So could you do could you actually background check this thing to maybe identify some kind of weakness? Like, who is Lorgoth?
I think I can figure out the motivations.
You could
like what its intentions are.
Okay, but its intentions are pretty.
You could.
This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm gonna fall to the back of the pack.
Right.
Right. I'm gonna drag my heels, and then as we turn a corner, and as the group is out of sight momentarily for a split second, I immediately cast Silent Image, and I summon the appearance of a cave-in, a collapse. So it looks like a whole bunch of bricks and so forth have blocked the path that we've just taken, hopefully buying us at least a moment's hesitation before it decides whether or not it's true.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, go for it then. Make your
I did it.
Make an Arcana check. So.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. No, what did you roll?
Oh, it's an actual spell. Do I still have to roll?
Yeah, because it's a skill challenge. We still have to make a roll.
All right.
So roll an Arcana check.
Arcana. Here we go. 15 plus 3, 18.
Absolutely succeeds. So you continue to run, and you hear the noise of the sludge. It disappears in the background. So you guys actually manage to make your way. I don't know if you remember, there was the room with the well in it, with all the little bed sets off the back of that. You continue to run north from that room as well. You're so close to getting back into where the stairwell was, and then Jean, you hear from behind, just as you're about to reach the exit, that Lorgoth is back again. It's managed to find an alternative route past the illusion. What are you going to do? We've got one more success that we need for the team to survive.
Okay, well, I think it's time to pull out intimidation. Because I think an actor has a reserve of confidence and authority that he can draw from. So I decide that I'm going to whirl about and say in a booming baritone, which the ladies love. What's his name again?
Lorgoth.
It doesn't. Yeah. Trash pile, you will follow us no more. Not another step, for we are mighty warriors, and if you come any closer, one sludgy step closer, we will strike you down.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping for Madame Rousseau.
Take your check, but take it at a disadvantage because he is not that intelligent a creature. Yeah.
Okay.
So that means roll 2 and pick the lowest.
Roll 2? Okay. 12. So 12 plus 5, 17.
But did you roll 2 dice?
Yep, the other one was 18. So.
Oh, what?
Wow.
So yeah, so Lorgoth, the Destroyer, unbelievably, just as everyone else starts to nip up the stairwell, Jean turns to give this final jab, and unbelievably, and nobody else sees this, Lorgoth pauses, as if reconsidering what it's doing. just before Jean is able to take off after the team. Guys, you've succeeded in the skills challenge and escaped from the basement. Well done.
But no one saw it. No one saw me turn back the sludge monster just with the power of my words.
No one will believe it either.
Oh, God. That's my luck.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcast.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.